Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Car Lot Confessions. I am your host, Frank Fanzoni, and it is that time again where we are here and gathered to have another wonderful show together. Welcome to the show, guys. Welcome, Justin. Welcome, Renee. Thank you so much for being here. Hello, guys. Great to see you. Thanks so much for being on. Excited for another great show. We have a lot of content to cover tonight. A very controversial topic, which I'll be looking for your guys' opinions on. We have our poll question of the night, of course. We'll review some stuff from last week. We'll go over Grinds My Gears, all of these wonderful segments that we have. And, of course, one of my favorites is shout-outs, guys. So start thinking about your shout-outs you want to give tonight. Before we get started, let's go ahead and get into our normal housekeeping things. Shirts, guys, my Tiger sweatshirt tonight. It's very cold here still. If you guys have a shirt you'd like to have on the show or something that you'd like to see featured on a live taping of Car Lot Confessions, please feel free to send me a private message. And I'd be more than happy to see what we can do to get your shirt on a live taping of the show. Also, with that being said, looks like you guys have your notifications on. Hi, KR Ray. Thanks for being here. I'm so glad you guys could be on. But if you don't have your notifications turned on, make sure you guys click on the bell and turn those notifications on so that way we know every time Car Lot Confessions goes live. If you can like and follow and share this page, I greatly appreciate it. If you guys want to share this video right now for me on your Facebook page, we'll see if we can get a couple new people to join the show tonight. It'd be greatly appreciated. Continue to grow this community and try to spread the positiveness and be the change. So, guys, that's the housekeeping stuff. If you guys could do a huge quick share for me on the Facebook page, that'd be greatly appreciated. But we're getting there. We're getting ready to get into the show, guys. Hope you guys are having a great night. I am. I'm super excited about it. It's going to be a great show tonight, guys. So hopefully you guys agree and you're ready for it. I know that I am. Yeah, it's going to be a great show. Thanks, guys, for sharing and all the likes and the thumbs up and all of that. I'm glad you guys are here. Couldn't do it without you. This show is here for you. I'm just the host, but you being a part of the show, of course, always makes the show better. So I applaud you all for being here. Thank you so much. Greatly appreciate it. I'm looking forward to it. Again, guys, no crickets in the chat tonight. Make sure we have lots of comments, lots of opinions, lots of things to say. Keep it funny if you can, and we'll go ahead and make sure we make this a great show together. So, all right, guys, I'm super excited about the show. Let's get right into it tonight. Let's start off with the poll question from last week. The poll question from last week was our pre-Halloween poll question. The question was, do you dress up for Halloween still? As we get older and not so much kids anymore, does the tradition still stick with you? 67% of you said yes, you still dress up. If you guys saw my quick video that I did on Halloween night as I was walking around with the kids, I had a costume on. I absolutely love Halloween. It's one of my favorite holidays. 67% of you said yes. 33% of you said no. And that was a total of 9 votes, guys. Our votes are down again, so if you guys could totally help out, make sure you guys are voting. Share that poll or our current poll. That would be greatly appreciated. Let's see if we can get some people in on that poll so we can get more opinions on it. It'd be greatly appreciated. All right, so let's get into the next poll. So today's poll I posted earlier today. Hopefully you guys, some of you have already answered it. Maybe some of you haven't. If you haven't, go ahead and pop over there. It'll definitely, it's a good poll today. Today I realized, and I did take a look, November is National Stress Awareness Day. Is actually tomorrow, November 6th. Sorry, my thought just popped out of my head there for a second. November 6th is National Stress Awareness Day. And so our poll question along those lines was, what would you say you have in your life in regards to stress, and how stressful is your life? If you guys could go and do that for me, I greatly appreciate it. Brian, welcome to the show. Kara said she didn't dress up for Halloween this year, but it was fun. That is true. You did get to see me dress up, though, and I absolutely loved my costume, so that was always good. So National Stress Awareness Day is tomorrow. tomorrow, guys, if you want to go and get on that poll, let us know if you're super stressed out or if you don't have that much stress. I kind of would like to see a gauge of what our community members and how their lives are, if it's stressful or not. But I know quite a few people have already been on there. There's already some communications. John, welcome to the show. So make sure you guys go do that poll. Another thing I found out about tomorrow that I really liked, though, also on the 6th of November, which is tomorrow, just throw this out there. Tomorrow is National Nacho Day. That's right. Who doesn't love nachos? I absolutely love nachos. I'm a big Mexican food fan, but I thought I'd throw that out there for you guys because I love it. I know, I wonder if you guys do too, but tomorrow's National Nacho Day, but also Stress Awareness Day. Guys, make sure you guys go do the poll. Let's see here. We got some chats already going on. Hi, Holly. Welcome to the show. Thank you for being here. So glad you guys can join. Brian, thanks for coming. John's here now. So glad you guys can come and be a part of the show. Make sure you guys go do the poll. Poll questions on the site. So I'd really appreciate that. Let's see what else we got going on here. Renee drops in and says, I think different times of the year are more stressful for me than others. That's very true. I'm sure that's for everybody. Holidays are coming up. Want to make sure that we are trying to minimize stress. But National Stress Awareness Day is tomorrow, guys. So let's go ahead and think about that a little bit. We can talk about that towards the end of the show here a little bit as well. But that's the poll question. So go make sure you guys go share that poll question. Go answer that poll question for me because it is definitely a good one. I want to assess the community here. And yes, tomorrow is National Nacho Day, as John points out. We all love nachos. I love it. All right, guys, it is. Let's go ahead and keep moving along with the show. This is now one of my favorite times, one of the best parts of the show that I enjoy. Hopefully you guys do too. As you all know, it is Grinds My Gears, guys. I love Grinds My Gears. It's a great segment that we do. Brian says there should be more National Nacho Days. I want to put that out there that I agree with you, Brian. Thank you for weighing in 1,000%. Thank you, John, for doing the poll. I also agree there should be more Nacho Days. All right, let's get into it, guys. One of my new favorite segments, Grinds My Gears. This segment this year, this time we're going to talk about, again, the segment is about something that frustrates us, something that grinds my gears, and then we're going to go ahead and talk about putting a positive twist on it, right? So something I experienced, I'm not sure if I've done this one or not, but it definitely frustrated me and has been for the last week or so, is gawkers. Gawkers during traffic accidents, stops, things going on in the expressway, or always what seems to be nothing at all for traffic for no reason, just because people want to look at things, right? So that's what grinds my gears. I'm not sure if I've done this one, but this one I do have to put out there again because it is something that has affected me this week. Why is it that everybody feels like they have to look and see everything? You're in a car, for Pete's sakes, and you have people trying to get somewhere. Really grinds my gears, guys, when I hear that, when I see that. It's been constant on the expressway lately. Now, I know with the holiday season coming up, we're going to have this a lot more. With the weather changing, there's going to be more accidents. There's going to be more people on the road, holiday shopping, all this stuff. It's only going to increase. I get that. And I'm aware of it, and I understand it. Doesn't mean it doesn't frustrate me any more than it already does. But lately, I've been on the road a lot in regards to this, and people are stopping and slowing down for no reason at all. Backups, stopped, sitting on the expressway, and there is nothing happening. There's nothing up in front. There's nothing behind. There's no reason for the stop. Absolutely grinds my gears, guys. Let me know if this is something you've run into as well. Rubberneckers, as John puts it, and I do agree with that. Rubberneckers, absolutely. If the accident is even on the other side of the street or the road or the expressway, people are stopping to look. What are you wanting to see? Do you want to see the blood? Do you want to see something bad? Do you want to see dismembered body? I don't understand what you're looking for. Just keep moving. Just keep swimming. Just keep swimming. Isn't that what they usually say? Eric, welcome to the show. Thanks for coming. Kara says it bugs her too. Yes, it does. Again, grinds my gears, guys. This is happening nonstop these days. I feel like more and more people have to see everything. And the worst part of it is I feel like this has a lot to do with their phones and their social media. And I got to post this and I got to video that and I got to take a picture of this or take a picture of that. It is absolutely something that continues to happen on a consistent basis. And boy, does it frustrate me. some dude can be on the side of the road changing a tire, and it can cause a 6-mile backup because nobody's seen somebody change a tire before. Now, I get it, for safety reasons, people maybe are slowing down. I get that. But do you have to stop traffic altogether because one dude is changing a tire? Absolutely not. Just keep driving. Just keep driving. I don't understand it. Doesn't make any sense to me, guys. Let me know what you think. Is this something that bothers you as well? Because it absolutely bothers me and grinds my gears. John says, ooh, it is so interesting. Phone videos make you millions. True. Possible. Not while you're driving. Isn't it you're supposed to stay safe and keep others safe, and by doing so you can't be rubbernecking or looking at stupid stuff? Look, if there's a cop that's got somebody pulled over, get over, give them some space, and keep going. You don't have to slow down to see what kind of idiot just got pulled over and is getting a ticket. Okay? I don't see any reason why that should cause a mile, 2 mile, 3 mile, how many miles ever you want to count to back up because some idiot decided not to do the speed limit. Grinds my gears, guys. Let me know what you think. I'm assuming it grinds your gears too. I mean, nobody enjoys this. And again, I know this is something that's going to increase because the holidays are here and they're coming up and everybody's shopping. More people are on the road, spending money, whatever else the case may be. But traffic always goes up around this time of year. And with that being the case, then there's going to be more accidents. There's going to be more people on the road. There's going to be more people gawking. There's going to be more people getting pulled over, more tires to be changed, or absolutely nothing at all, which happens a lot too, which is the biggest thing that grinds my gears. Let's turn this into a positive like we always do, though, right, guys? So let's talk about this and be a positive. I think we've talked about this before. Possibly not. One of the good things we can do during this time, during these, is, of course, this is free time, maybe listening to a podcast or organizing or thinking about a grocery list that you need, trying to find ways to de-stress your life a little bit during this stressful time is always one positive way to make a twist on it. Of course, having some sympathy and some understanding of what's going on, trying not to be so impatient. I get that. I need to work on my patience as well, especially when I'm trying to get somewhere. But it's definitely something that does happen. Justin chimes in. I thought it was just Seattle traffic. I can't stand it here. It's been getting worse every year here. I do not doubt that. I think it's getting worse everywhere. More and more people want to see everything that's going on. And I guess this brings into account like autonomous cars, right? Cars that drive themselves. This will be more important so people can look at what's going on, I guess. I don't know. That's a topic for another day, I'm sure. And I'm sure we'll bring it up here on Car Lot Confessions, guys. But definitely interesting. So positive twist on this, though, guys. Again, especially things that you can do. Enjoy your music, listen to a podcast, try to organize your life, organize your grocery list. Think about things you got to do that's going to help you de-stress a little bit, or take time just for yourself. Sometimes we don't get that extra 5 minutes or that time to ourselves that we want. Maybe that's something we can turn it into. I need to work on my patience and on my patience during traffic jams like that, but I can't help it that it grinds my gears that people are stopped watching a dude change his tire. And truth is, to be honest with you, if I see him changing his tire and I've been sitting in traffic for 30 minutes and I see this guy still changing his tire, I'm going to want to get out and help this dude because it shouldn't take you that long to change a tire. I'm not on a NASCAR crew, but I sure as hell can change a tire a lot faster than I've been sitting in traffic, right? That's just my thoughts, guys. I'm sure you guys feel the same. Michael, thank you so much for joining and being here on the show. Traffic is definitely one of those things that I think a lot of people hate, as Renee points out, and that is why it is my topic this week on Grinds My Gears. All right, guys, that was Grinds My Gears, one of my favorite segments of the show. Hopefully you guys liked it too. If you guys have any suggestions on how to maybe, for me to be more patient or how to not get so frustrated during traffic jams and for reasons why people are not driving for no reason at all, please feel free to put it in the chat. Let me know what you guys think about it. It is definitely something that I think affects all of us. It happens everywhere. And it is a problem, and it's never going to get fixed if we can think about it that way, right? So ways that you can help me stay calm and patient even when I'm in a hurry, which seems to be like quite a bit because I have so much going on. But those were some positives that we could do, right? So we can always try to, listen to music or a podcast or try to do something to better ourselves or get our 5 minutes in for the day for ourselves to try to refuel those tanks is a good time for that. I don't know what else to say about it, guys. That grinds my gears. Let me know what you guys think. That's absolutely 100%, though. I think something that we can all relate to. I think so. I'm pretty sure you guys do, too. Thanks so much. That grinds my gears. All right, guys, let's and move on with the show because this topic we have tonight for In the News is a big one. It has got a lot of faces to it that we can discuss tonight. It was a huge story. There's a lot of implications here. We're talking about kids, parents, court cases, U.S. senators, governors, representatives, judges. All of this kind of stuff plays factor in here, and partly why the show is what it is tonight and what it's named all goes with it on the title of the show. But we're here to protect our kids, I think, and let's get into the topic of In the News. If you guys had a chance to read the article, please go ahead and throw a thumbs up on the show here in the Facebook, so I know you guys got a chance to read it. This way I can see how many people did or didn't. I am going to go over most of the facts for the article itself. A little bit of a longer article this week, but it was worth it. Again, a little bit of a controversial one. So before we get started here and discussing In the News, and I hope you guys stick around I'd love to see your guys' opinion. Guys, remember, I don't want to hear any crickets here in the chat tonight because this is a big topic, and your guys' contributions, no crickets, are going to be key here tonight. Let me know if you guys read the article or not. Dallas child custody battle hinges on a 7-year-old's gender identity. Draws attention of Abbott Cruz, who is is a senator, I believe. Yep, is a governor, Greg Abbott. Also, senators are involved as well. This is a very huge topic right now, guys. We have a lot of people on. Skip, thanks for joining. Thanks for being here, Skip. Glad you could be on the show tonight. Hopefully, you guys got a chance to read the article. Renee says she read it. And it is a very complex situation. 100%, guys, this is probably one of the most controversial topics we've had on Car Lot Confessions so far. And I really am interested in hearing your guys' opinions. So please let me know what you think. Again, just before we get started, because it can be controversial, everybody's opinion here in Car Lot Confessions is accepted. You are free to speak your mind as long as you are respectful and kind to the rest of the community members, so I would appreciate that. And those, of course, are always just the ground rules in regards to our discussions here. Just be respectful, be open-minded, and everybody's entitled to their opinion, guys. So this is a safe area. So let's go ahead and get into it. If you didn't get a chance to read the article, like Renee, or unlike Renee, but she did read it, I read it. This is a story this is a situation that takes place in Dallas, Texas. So what it is a divorce case and custody battle between parents right now. A judge ruled for joint custody for these parents, so let's just keep that in mind. Because I do, too, believe, as long as this judge does, that kids need both their parents in their lives, even if they are divorced or not. I believe every child deserves a mother and a father in their life, and I believe the judge does, too. Nikki, thank you for coming on. Nikki, I appreciate you being here. We're getting right into the end of the news section, so I'd love to hear your guys' opinion. This is about a 7-year-old boy who mother and father are having issues and are having challenges in regards to the gender identity of one of their children. So this father, named Jeffrey Younger, contends that his child is male, which is what he was born. He was born a boy. The mother, and Gorgulis, I'm not sure how to pronounce that, says her child is transgender. So there's a difference of opinion here from the parents. Mother believes the boy is transgender. The father is adamant that he is not and that he is a boy. Again, this is a very controversial topic, guys, so I want to hear your opinions. They filed for divorce. They were married in 2010. They got the divorce in 2015. This is a set of twin boys that they have. One of them is the one that is in question. The boy's name is James. The mother states that in the transgender name is Luna. And I want to point out that the mother, Anne, in this case, is a pediatrician for a living as well. So that is also, I think, plays some of the factor here. Younger and Yorgoulis, who were married in 2010 and got their, the record shows that the couple's marriage was annulled in 2016 after the court ruled that the father had misled the mother into a marriage and there was fraud. She said that he fabricated details of his life, such as military background, education, work experience, and how many times he had been married before. Of course, he denies the misrepresentation. But this, I think, is a first flag that goes up in regards to what's going on here. And the reason why I say it's a flag is because clearly there's lies and manipulation and disagreement between the couple who are now divorced. This kind of shows how this whole divorce has gone with, if anybody who's been a product of divorce or knows about divorce, has been through divorce, anytime this type of finger pointing happens, it can never be pretty and things usually get pretty ugly. Mike jumps in and says, didn't get to read the article. What does the child say? Well, let's get into that. That's actually a great question. The child is 7. Now, the mother states that when the child is with her, the child is transgender and prefers to be called Luna, likes dresses, and is comfortable in being in transgender and with her mother. When the boy, James, is with the father, he doesn't want to do dresses. He doesn't want to dress up. He has fights tooth and nail and wants to be a boy. And this is the argument that they're having. And this is from the article that I read. Again, the boy is 7. 7-year-old is very young. I have a 8-year-old daughter right now, so I want to just put that out there that I kind of understand the age range here and the mentality of that age range. People of higher power have gotten involved in regards to this case. Governor Greg Abbott, U.S. Senator Ted Cruz, U.S. Representative Dan Crenshaw, and other politicians, liberals, have latched onto this case, and the conservative media highlighting the father's contention that mother has intended to force the child to undergo hormone therapy and puberty blockers to change the child's biological gender. This is something that even politicians are getting involved in to help strengthen liberal cases, strengthen their views, or to fight with or fight against. The father has publicly said himself that this is against his religious beliefs, and Republicans have been jumping and backing that in regards to the religious aspect of it. I am not here personally to discuss Democrats and Republicans. That's not what my side of the story is or why I brought this up. It is part of this article, though, so I wanted to make mention of it. We can get into that tonight or another time. You guys, again, are part of this show. So Eric chimes in, says, sounds like the kid and parents need a therapist and not politicians. That's a great point. In fact, the judge has ruled in this case in regards to the joint custody, but it has also ruled that the family must seek psychiatric help because of the public aspects and the public persona this case is taken has really taken a toll psychologically on the family, the mother, the father, and the kids of this family. So that is a great point, that psychiatric help is needed. So mother has asked the courts and asked the court itself, which the mother seems to be the most reasonable in all of this, has asked the courts for a mutual written consent, which would ensure that both mother and father agree on a course of action before the child undergoes any such treatment, which is why joint custody was awarded. The judge overturned a jury's recommendation of custody to joint instead of sole to the mother because the judge realized that the mother and father both should be a part of this child's life. It's important. Parents are important in child's lives, and going through this type of thing should involve both parents. Renee chimes in, I think it was an ugly marriage / divorce, which I will agree with. And it is all dragging the situation out. The fear the ex-wife is going to use her medical knowledge to change the child's gender. I don't think 7 years old are mentally capable of making this decision. It's a great point. Tim, welcome to the show. Thanks for being here. So glad you're on. Renee or Nikki says, I agree with Renee. Thank you, Nikki. That she makes a great point. Kara agrees with Renee as well, and her point in regards to it being a nasty marriage and divorce. Sounds like that's the case. That red flag went up. In regards to the medical knowledge, being a pediatrician, sounds like that can be used as force and part of this as well. And again, 7 years old. This is the boy that's 7 years old, and I want to put that out there. And it's getting national attention. It's getting national attention. So this is a very controversial topic, guys. I love that you guys are being active in the chat, guys. Keep it up. Please do not stop, because this is actually going really well. Let's keep going in regards to this, though. So with that being the case, I want to put out there that Governor Abbott posted on Twitter that they would look into the case along with protective services. So now governors are getting involved in a divorce case, a custody battle case, because of the nature of the case itself. Guys, to me, that this is going up too far on the chain. Politicians are getting involved. This is enough stress as is. I've been through an ugly divorce. I know what it's like. I've seen friends and family go through divorces. I am a product of divorce as a child. I have seen my children go through it. I've seen other children go through it. There's never anything good about all that at times, and it's very stressful. But now you're getting Twitter and governmental officials involved in this. The governor is asking for child protective services and for things to be looked at. This is a big deal. It's a huge deal, guys. Justin weighs in. Things get ugly in a kind of divorce. In any kind of divorce, I think this kid needs more or any therapy. This situation, by reading the article and not knowing the actual story, has me very complex, and I'll agree with you on that. It's a very complex situation. He's 7, not even close to any kind of puberty, which is also true. This kid is being influenced by one of the parents, is my opinion. That's a good opinion, and thank you for sharing it. Michael also weighs in. Thank you, Michael. Children are able to self-identify their gender earlier than most people think. That is true, and statistics state that children are able to identify their gender, which I did read this, at early as ages of 2 and 3 years old. I wouldn't think puberty blockers would be prescribed without the child speaking to a therapist. Also agree with that, which is pretty common. It would not be uncommon for a biological male child to want to fit in with his father and not feel like an outsider. Thank you for bringing that up, Michael. I also want to point that out there, is that this article states that the boy is comfortable with his mother and is transgender when in the mother's care. When this boy is with his father, which we all know the social stigmata of fathers and sons, we also know that there's a lot of old-time thinking in regards to older age men and women and society out there that still isn't fully accepting of people's ideas of what their gender is or isn't. And I could see the father inflicting his opinions on this on his son, filling him with fear, and not allowing him to actually be who he wants to be or who he feels he is. Totally agree with that. So I want to put that out there, that Michael, that is a great point. Thank you for sharing that. Let's see here. The agency, we were talking about Governor Abbott. Thank you guys for those, by the ways. I want to applaud you. Thank you. Keep the comments coming, guys. These are really great contributions. And guys, this is, again, a show for you. So I really appreciate this. We left off with Governor Abbott posted on Twitter, right? So the agency confirmed it had received a letter from the Attorney General's office and was reviewing the allegations. The letter was signed by First Assistant Attorney General Jeff Mateer, who has referred to transgender children as, and again, this is, I quote Jeff Mateer here, Satan's spawn and evidence of Satan's plan. You have attorney generals, governors, judges, senators, representatives, all involved in this case. And we're talking about religious aspects now. Satan's spawn and evidence of Satan's plan, those are very, very strong words. That is inflicting religion on somebody and your views in a way that I think is not respectable of other people, their opinions and their views, their feelings, their faith. And that's coming from the Attorney General's office, the first Assistant Attorney General's office. Let me know what you guys think about that. Also stated, the children at the center of this dispute are in immediate and irrevocable danger, according to Jeff Matier. I don't disagree with that. I think this is something that is becoming very public. It's very stressful. It's very hard to understand. Sorry, guys.
Do you love Reese? Do you love?
Sorry about that. Very hard to understand, especially for a 7-year-old. And at this day and age, with technology and information at your fingertips, I don't doubt that this 7-year-old knows what's going on publicly out there, which of course isn't a good thing either. Let's see. Matier later said, "We ask that you open an investigation into the matter as soon as possible and act pursuant to your emergency powers to protect the boy in question from permanent and potentially irreversible harm by his mother." So now you have an assistant attorney general attacking the mother, saying what she's doing is wrong. I don't believe at any point this assistant attorney general has spent any time with the 7-year-old and the mother or the father to even know what the story is. They're using it as their own political views and their own leverage in regards to who they are and what they stand for. Not okay. The attorney general wants to run for governor and thinks he can score cheap political points. Michael chimes in on that. I do not disagree with you. I think that is absolutely 100% right. I don't think, though, that him putting out there that Satan's spawn and evidence of Satan's plan and saying that this is irrevocable danger that the child is in, all of this kind of stuff, I do not believe is something that should be being put out in public, being said, especially from someone in a power position of that nature. Political views or not. This is a very, very tough topic. Let's see. The mothers received threats. Senator Ted Cruz weighed in on the debate, saying that the child is too young to decide which gender to identify as. That was Senator Ted Cruz. Let's see. Mother says she's received threats, engaged in emotionally abusive behavior towards her, towards the child, in response to the gender identity, according to court records. The one part that got me here is this, and this is the last fact I have written down right now before we go into you guys' comments a little more. The father, who has gone public with this, and this is how it got to go public to begin with, the father did it, and has went on sites and publicly campaigned in regards to it, has turned this into donations of money have come in totaling over $130,000 from a public campaign. So money is even being contributed to this, which to me also taints this stuff. Pam, welcome to the show. Kevin, welcome to the show. Thank you guys so much for being here. The topic tonight is very controversial. Hopefully you guys had a chance to read it. I would love to hear you guys' opinion. Again, we're talking about the Dallas child custody battle, which hinges on a 7-year-old's gender identity, draws attentions from Abbott Cruz. Also, again, Senator Ted Cruz, Greg Abbott, Governor, Dan Crenshaw, which is a representative, judges, attorney generals, everybody's weighing in. Guys, let's see what you're having to say here as well. Eric chimes in tonight as well. Thank you, Eric, for your comments. Politicians don't give a crap about this kid or family. Also true. They are simply using this for a platform. The media attention is fueling the flame. 100%. I agree with that. And the problem that I have here is, we'll talk about others' opinions here, but the father's the one that made this public. The father's the one that went out and campaigned about this. The father's the one that's put this out there in a public platform on internet, social media, to try to gain attention to this, and these politicians have flocked to it for a platform. It is definitely a controversial topic. It is definitely something that I think is very much out there and very important right now. Justin chimes in, the politics in this case are elbow benders for political gain. That's obvious. There are deeper stabs in this case than what is in the article. That is true. All of this is true. I don't think any of these politicians have spent any time with his family, first of all, to even understand what is going on. Let's get into the true issue here a little bit as well. And again, this can go many, many, many different ways. So please, guys, continue to weigh in. I continue to applaud you. Thank you so much. But this can go many different ways, and I want to get into the question of the night, if you guys could. There's some applause for you guys. Question of the night, guys, because this is going to be part of it, and some of you guys have already gotten into it a little bit. What do you think is the right age in which a person should be able to choose their identity? Do these parents have the right to choose the identity for this child, or have an opinion in regards to this child's identity? Only that as well, should it be a law? Should there be a law in place stating what children's rights are about choosing their identity? What rights should parents have? These are questions I want to pose to you guys and hear your opinions about it. Let me go ahead and restate those for you, because it is the question of the night. What do you think is the right age in which a person should be able to choose their identity? Again, I read a fact that children as of ages of 2 and 3 identify as a gender for themselves. Should this be a law? Should there be a law put in place in regards to what an age, or the right age, for people to choose what identity they should be or they want to be? What rights should parents have in this case? Guys, these are some pretty tough questions to answer. I want to hear your guys' opinion. So again, make sure that we are not putting any crickets in the chat there, guys. You guys continue with the great comments, and I love hearing what you guys are saying. All right. Pam weighs in. I agree that politicians do not need to be involved. That's 100%. I think the fact that they've been clinging on to this just for a platform, for the media attention, for the outlets that are there, governors, senators, representatives, all of these people have higher, bigger things they should be doing. This is not what our taxes pay for in regards to their jobs and what it is they're doing, and why they were elected into these positions. They should not be focusing on a custody battle case involving children, which is clearly a toxic marriage and divorce. Don't they have bigger things to be worrying about? Don't they have other responsibilities other than worrying about the gender of a 7-year-old child in a custody battle? I would think so. I would hope so. I am not here stating I am Republican. I'm not here stating that I'm Democratic. I'm not here stating that I'm liberal or non-liberal. I'm not stating any of that. My point is breaking it down to the nuts and bolts of this. They have better things to be doing with their times as governors, as senators, as representatives, as judges, and as attorney generals than pay attention to a divorce case and a custody battle. That's how I feel. This is about a mother and a father who can't understand or stop to listen to what their child has to say. I am a father of an 8-year-old, not far off from, she was just 7 not that long ago. My 7-year-old is smart, has an opinion, knows right from wrong, knows common sense, and is able to speak her mind. When she speaks, my job is to listen. I think that's the job of every parent, is to listen. Our job is to keep our kids safe as well. Part of doing that is listening to our children. Justin weighs in. Thank you, Justin. There are ages for children to choose a parent to live with. So there should be one for them to tell the world what they choose to be as far as a gender. So you're agreeing that there should be a law or at least an age in place. I like that. Thank you for your opinion. Thank you for answering that question. They're going to attach to this because transgender is a huge platform right now, Renee states, in regards to politicians. 100%. Not that doesn't make it right, but they're doing it. Eric weighs in, I would say around puberty, and parents need to support the choice, but this needs to be consulted with therapists and doctors. Get to the root cause and ensure the child is loved and supported. 100%. That's part of listening. That's part of understanding that your child is confused or unsure, or even if they are sure of what their gender is, even if they are transgender or whatever the case may be, that you're listening to them. And that if there is steps to take so that your child can be happy, as a parent, it is your responsibility to do the best you can to make that happen. Bottom line, as a parent, coming from parents. Thank you, Eric. Great comment. Michael weighs in, what do they do from 3 years old to puberty when they identify as another gender? Are you asking parents what do they do? Or are you asking about kids? Or are you asking about court? Or are you just asking, or you're asking Eric that as well? That's actually a pretty good question. I think the key here is letting the child know that they're at least heard and they're being listened to and that you are with them and they have a safe area to be in. This is a safe place. Your parents love you no matter what. If you are transgender, I still love you. I will always love you. Let's talk. Let's see a therapist if you'd like to. Is this something you're thinking of? Here are options either way. Which do you decide? We need to be able to give our children more of a voice on who they are. They know who they are. Our job is to teach them right and wrong as parents. Our job is to listen to them. Our job is to protect them. Our job is not to speak for them when it comes to who they are. That's my opinion. Eric puts in, that's tough. I would say just don't force our views. Try not to say, no, you're not a boy or girl, as he's putting it in there. So that's great. Great opinion. I think our job is to listen, not to force views on our children. 100,000%. So Pam weighs in as well. Why is gender such a huge controversy? Why should anyone have to declare their identity or their identity? Don't put that pressure on a child or anyone. I also agree with that, but the only thing that I'm going to say in regards to that, Pam, is I agree. It shouldn't be forced or told you have to, but if somebody wants to say this is the gender they are, they should have the right to do so no matter what age they are. I am feeling that there's too many unsafe areas for people these days, especially transgender people, people that identify as transgender, don't have a safety. And I feel like this is the new, to put it, gay, or because remember before when people were gay, it was a big no-no, right? We didn't talk about it. We had to break that barrier down. It's been such a struggle, and now we are at a point where it's more accepted, which is great. Transgender is now bringing up the back of that pack and still is trying to get there as well, and I think it needs to, and it will, and I hope that it does. But it's still not there yet, and there's not enough safe zones for people who are transgender, who are having a hard time in regards to coming out and identifying who they want to be. My opinion. Michael says she agrees with Pam and Eric. Don't force your views. It doesn't impact you. Let them be who they are. 100,000%. Let them be who they are. I agree. What do you guys think about these other questions? What is the age do you think that someone should be able to legally choose? And do you think it should be a law? And also, what rights should parents have in regards to this? So that's one of the other side of the topics a little bit, is what right should the parents have? And the right that I think the parents personally should have, if I'm going to answer these questions, which I should and I will, the rights parents should have is the rights to listen, to identify therapists for talking, doctors, that kind of stuff to help. But as a parent, our responsibility is to protect our children and listen to them, not to make them be something they're not to force them into things, help them learn to make good decisions, to be accepting of this world, to be accepting of each other, of their life, all of that kind of stuff. That is our job as parents, and I believe in this case, these parents are failing miserably, fighting over this in court. It is hard enough just custody in general. It is hard enough being a product of divorce. It is hard enough knowing that your mother and your father are fighting constantly and are in a poisonous, horrible, wretched divorce. And you're in the middle of this as a child, 7 years old enough to understand what's going on. And on top of that, your parents now have to fight about what gender you are. I feel so bad for the kids involved in this case. Transgender, boy, girl, doesn't matter. I feel for the children in general having to fight through this publicity, governors, senators, representatives, politicians involved in this stuff, attorney generals involved in this stuff, child protective services involved in this stuff, the lies and deceit from the parents about fraud in the marriage to begin with. All of this is factor, and nobody has stopped and said, what is this doing to the child, to the children in this case? I'm saying that. I think this is an issue where we need to stop. Everybody needs to back off, and we need to see what is going on with these children first before any of this other stuff gets decided. That's my opinion. That's what I think. Let me know what you guys think as well. The children should always come first. I mean, I've been there. I've seen my parents go through a nasty divorce before. I went through a pretty nasty one myself. And kids are the ones that suffer the most. I could totally, fully, 100% say that because I was one of them. Mike weighs in. I'm not sure you can have a rigid law because everyone is different and will have their own experience and identity differently or identify differently. But there can be stronger protections for the LGBT community to prevent bigotry and hatred. Along with these, better training CPS workers to help these children when they need help. That's training. CPS is key. Having readily more available and easier access to therapists, I think, needs to happen, especially nowadays. That has nothing to do with transgender or identity. It has to do with how the world is getting screwed up, and people need people to talk to. Renee chimes in. I can't imagine the kids dealing with this. I can understand shock or disbelief right at first from parents because we all develop a vision of our children. But now this child and the twin have way too much publicity that they have to live with. I feel for the kids, definitely, and you and I both. And I was just saying that. Thank you, Renee, for, in a sense, agreeing with me what I said. I feel for the children in this. Take away the senators, take away the judges, take away the jury, take away the assistant attorneys general, take away the religious aspects that are being thrown out, take away the mother and the father's disagreements, their fights and their poison. In the middle of all this, the center of all this is a child. The innocence of a child is still there. The love that we should be showing our children is there. The respect and showing this child how the world should be there. And ultimately, to me, that's what this boils down to. And again, I know this is a very controversial topic. I appreciate everybody's opinion tonight. I don't want to... this is a great topic. I'm glad you guys were here. Thank you so much. First of all, thank you everybody who's weighed in and was here on the show tonight. In regards to this topic, sorry about that. That's what happens when you have to use ads, I guess. Thank you, everybody. I applaud you. You guys were great tonight in regards to this topic. If you have other or further opinions, there's a hallelujah for you guys. If you guys have further opinions or things you want to talk about in regards to this topic, please feel free to keep it going in the chat. You can always do it on the Car Lot Confessions community page as well. Keep the conversation going, guys. I will continue to weigh in as well. This is a big topic with a lot of faces to it, a lot of masks, a lot of things to talk about. I appreciate everybody's respect and open opinion tonight and all your conversations. And please do me a favor, keep it going in here. That would be great. The show is getting long. That was the question of the night. I want to keep going with the show, guys. Respect for your time. Real quick, let's do a quick side note on this stuff, and we'll go ahead and finish up with the topic right here, and then we will move on. Mike weighs in one more time. Side note, big news for the trans people. Danica Rome won. She is in the first trans person to win re-election to a state legislative in Virginia. Congratulations to her. That is great. Thank you so much for letting us know. Eric weighs in. It sounds like it's the parents have forgotten about what's really important. That is exactly what I was stating, and thank you, Eric, for putting it into much simpler words. What is important is the kids. All right, guys, keep the conversation going in the chat. Please feel free, or on the community page. Let's go ahead and move on with the show now. Told you it was going to be a good controversial topic for the night. Let's get into the positive personal recap for the week. This is a great segment that I always love in regards to this show. It's a lot of fun, and I like being able to do a positive recap, sharing my life with you guys, and all of that goodness, because that to me is important.
I love it.
And I always like to open up to everybody and, again, share the life. So let's do it. All right, positive personal recap. Halloween was awesome. As you guys got to see the video, it was fantastic. I got to walk with the kids. A little cold, a little rainy, a little snowy, but still a great holiday. And the truth is, I always try to remember that these can be limited in regards to our kids. And as they grow, it can be a little more difficult. We only get a certain number of times we get to go trick-or-treating with our kids. As kids, we only get a certain number. As parents, we only get a certain number. And then hopefully we all become grandparents and we get a certain number then as well. But I know for 100% fact that Halloweens are limited, so I took full advantage of it. I know our family did. It was a fantastic night. We walked with the kids. They got a bunch of candy. I took my candy tax that I do every year in regards to it, which I love peanut butter cups, just so everybody knows. And it was a great time, and thank you so much for our family who hosted and being able to see everybody during Halloween. Hopefully everybody had a safe and amazing Halloween. Your kids had a great time. And we're, of course, all gearing up for next year as well. Holidays are now upon us. We have Thanksgiving and Christmas coming as well. Super exciting time as we all get ready for the holidays. I want to make sure to remember and remind everybody to stay safe during the holidays. But that was Halloween. We're getting things winterized and ready for the holidays and all that kind of stuff coming up. Positive quote for the night, guys. Here we go. One of my favorites. Positive quote for the night. I love doing these. I guess we can do some party music. All right. Positive quote for the night. Goes along with our poll that we had. Tomorrow again is National Stress Awareness Day. So our positive quote for the night comes from Maureen Killian. And the quote is, "Stress is not what happens to us. It's our response to what happens, and response is something we can choose." I think that's a great quote. I really like it. When I read it, it really resonated with me. And it makes sense. And because, again, tomorrow's National Stress Awareness Day, stress is not what happens to us. It's our response to what happens, and a response is something we choose. So you can choose to respond stressfully and crazily, or you can choose to not let it stress you out and to manage it or to help it. And I want to make sure that's out there. So Maureen Killian, thank you so much for that. It was a great quote. Let me know what you guys think about that quote. Again, tomorrow is National Stress Awareness Day, so that's super important. And I wanted to put that out there, so hopefully you guys enjoyed that quote. I know I did. All right. It is that time. My favorite segment of the show, guys, the shout-outs and the top fan of the week time. Let's go ahead and get right into it. I like to kick this off with top fan of the week, guys, so get ready to do some applause and some congratulations. Top fan of this week has been a consistent contributor to the show, continues to show support, is consistently viewing, and has overall efforts outside of the show that support our motto of being the change, which makes this person our fan of the week. Let's give a big shout out to my brother this week, John Fanzoni, is the fan of the week this week. John, congratulations. Again, I really appreciate your continued contributions, your continued support, your consistent viewing, and constantly being here as well and supporting the show, and all that you do outside of being here on the show that absolutely 100% represents being the change. You are this week's fan of the week. Congratulations, John. Really appreciate it. That you definitely well deserved, and big shout out to you on that one. All right, guys, it is time for shout outs. So thank you so much, everybody, for the thumbs up in there. Shooting it out to John. Congratulations there. Happy fan of the week to you, John. Congratulations. Thank you, everyone. Also, let's get into our shout outs, guys. I love shout outs. This week, I'm just going to give a quick shout out to all of the Car Lot Confessions community for your support, constantly being here. A shout out to everybody who's here tonight. The contributions towards in the news time was by far the best we've had yet. So thank you so much. Guys, what shout outs do you have? Feel free to start putting them in the chat. We'll start reading them out. Shout outs to you guys right now. Go ahead and make sure you put them in there. While we're doing that, I'm going to do the birthdays real quick. I just want to put it out there. I will remind you again at the end of the show, there is no show next week, so we got a lot of birthdays to cover. So let's get started with it. Chris Reynolds, happy birthday to you tomorrow on the 6th, along with Carrie McLaughlin and Kyle Beeler. All birthdays tomorrow. Happy birthday, guys. Big shout out to Pam Grobel, her birthday will be on the 7th, along with Mallory Zilla. Happy birthday to both of you guys, Mallory and Pam, for on the 7th. Keep them going. We got lots tonight, guys. We have Nicole Tucker and Rachel Cruz. Also birthdays on the 8th of November. Happy birthday to you guys. On the 9th, Michael, who's been here tonight and is on the show with us tonight. Michael, your birthday is on the 9th. Happy birthday to you, sir. Seda McNeil, who is our realtor and is a fantastic realtor here in the area. Her birthday is on the 12th of November, so happy birthday, Seda. We're going to keep them going here. Michael Bancroft, your birthday's on the 14th, along with Leanne Cantwell. Happy birthday to you two. Kelly Wrestler and Steve Perkins, both on the 15th of November. Happy birthday to one of my newest friends that I met in Mexico, Joe Sproul. Happy birthday. You were on the 16th. Maya Zilla and Lori DeGroat on the 17th. Happy birthday to you guys. And then finally here, Dane Hopkins, Emily Moore, and Aviana Castro. Happy birthday on the 18th. My goodness, that's a lot of birthdays. Happy birthday to all of you. Happy birthday, guys. Those are the birthday reminders. Again, no show next week, so I had to go over all of those. A lot of people born in November. Let's see. Let's go to the shout-out section here. It's time for you guys, for your shout-outs for the week. Let's see what you guys got. Justin chimes in. Congrats to the Hawks for a tight win over the Bucks. To the Seahawks. Shout-out. Good job, guys. John says, yes, go Hawks. Johanna just came in. Shout out to Johanna. Thanks for joining the show. We're in the shout out section, guys. If anybody here has shout outs, please let me know. Again, for the people that are on, I want to give a big happy birthday to Pam and to Pam, to Michael, to you guys for being on here for the show as well right now. Thank you so much. Happy birthday to you guys coming up. Super excited for you guys. You were at the game, Joanna says, for the Seahawks. Justin says hi to her as well. Thank you, guys. I love the community speaking with each other. That's the shout-out, guys. If you have any other shout-outs you'd like to have on the show before we end, now's the time to do it. All right, real quick, guys, let's do a couple more quick announcements as we start to wrap up the show here. Again, no show next week. I will be out of town. It is hunting season. I am an avid hunter. We can get into that topic another time if you like. But we will be, I will be out. So there will be no Car Lot Confessions next week, guys. I know. I'm sad. You're sad. We're all sad. But I will be back the following week, and I will see you guys on the 18th of November, just so you guys know. Blood still needed here in Michigan, guys. If you can donate blood, it's one of the fastest ways to be the change. If you guys can do that, I greatly appreciate it. So just so you know that. Let's do a quick recap, guys. We talked about the poll question for last week. 67% did dress up. 33% did not for Halloween. We did the poll question for the night, which was about managing your stress. Make sure you guys go do that poll for me. Also, tomorrow is National Nacho Day. So if you guys can have nachos, celebrate. We did grinds my gears in regards to gawkers during traffic stops, accidents, or nothing at all on the road. How frustrating that can be, and tried to turn it into a positive. We talked about our incredible controversial topic tonight, which all of you had such great contributions on in regards to In the News and the custody battle with a 7-year-old and their gender identity, which is drawing political influence and platform. We had our question of the night in regards to the articles, which you guys answered and did well on. Please feel free to keep the conversation going on the page if you like. We did our personal positive recap about Halloween and how great things were. We did the quote of the night. Again, the quote, stress is not what happens to us, it's our response to what happens, and response is something we can choose. Maureen Killeran, thank you so much. Top fan of the week, let's give it back up for John Fanzoni again. Thank you, guys. John Fanzoni, huge top fan of the week. Congratulations to you. We did our shout-outs. We did our birthdays, guys. That's everything. That's the show tonight. It was a good one, thanks to you guys. Thank you, John. John says, thanks, brother. Great show. John says, good luck hunting. Thank you, sir. Renee says, have a great trip. Pam says, we will miss the show next week. Be safe. Thank you. I will. I will miss all of you guys as well. Justin weighs in. Good luck on the big Michigan buck. That's the plan, guys, trying to put some venison in the freezer. Super excited. I'm going to say real quick that I am, for the first time, being able to take my son hunting as well. It is going to be a great father-son bonding experience. Stone gets to come with me. Going to be a great time. Passing the torch a little bit, showing him the ropes of hunting. It's going to be some great father-son time. I'm looking forward to it, being able to spend some time with him. Guys, I am going to miss you. Thanks so much for a great show tonight. Guys, remember, be safe. Again, it is hunting season. It is a time where all the animals are on the move. So if you're on the roads, guys, be careful, especially dusk and dawn. Remember to give blood. Remember, no show next week. And thank you guys for coming. Thanks for being here, guys. Last comments, last everything on the show. Right now, make sure you guys like, share, and follow this page. Invite a friend, invite a family member. Tell people about the show. Tell people about the community. Let's continue to see this grow and see how many people we can get here to be the change. Guys, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. It's been a great show tonight. Everybody stay safe, stay warm, and be the change. Thank you so much, guys. We'll see you next time on the 18th. Don't forget. I'll miss you guys. See you then. Thanks so much.